Renover se lance. Loguet, c'est parti, Sneaky. Le chase de la part de Yellow Star.
La guillotine de Ball.
La partition impériale de Ball.
Il reste Yellow Star.
Les Cloud9 implosent une magique noire.
Today in Paris, the top teams in the world completed their first lap towards the Summoners Cup. Week 1 of the 2015 League of Legends World Championship is officially on the books. And welcome to Worlds Tonight. I'm Shox, joined here by Kobe and Jad to talk about not only this day, but the rest of the group stage of what we've seen so far. What do you guys want to talk about?
The defining moment of Balls getting a pentakill and...
Let's talk about Shox's favorite game, Fnatic losing.
Listen, we've seen a pentakill again. That was 10 times already since that game.
We've seen it like 35 times, but that moment, I feel like just took all the energy from North America, and that's why CLG couldn't beat Coup.
That's why.
And that just like deflated the whole energy in the room.
All the faith got depleted by that game. Okay, we're gonna watch it again. I get it. No, but it was amazing from Cloud9.
Yeah,
at least.
I mean, so the interesting thing about this game is that Sneaky actually did the lowest amount of damage on Cloud9's team.
Yeah, and it's actually, since we've seen this fight so many times, you can see how Incarnation is actually one of the huge carries for Cloud9. Yes, Balls gets to clean up all these pentakills with the bleed damage and execute. All of the pentakills at Worlds, Balls has gotten to clean up every single one.
100% of the pentakills.
But Incarnation, he's been absolutely magnificent for Cloud9, not only on Azir, but he's one of the few players that have been drawing Veigar bans now because of his single performance on Veigar. And them and CLG are actually the only two teams to draw Veigar bans, which is something that I'm looking at moving forward, because 3 more days, teams are going to be practicing more champions. Will other teams start to try and use Veigar, or do they already have him and they're trying to keep it secret?
I do see some similarities between Cloud9 and CLG in the fact that they've kind of run a singular strategy in their wins. Azir and Trist are so critical for Cloud9 with the Veigar ban, so if you want to start getting rid of that, you actually get into some dangerous territory, because that means gank playing could then come back into the games. CLG, though, will need to do a little bit of adjusting because they looked really bad.
All the faith got depleted by TSM and C9.
Well,
what happened?
They had bad play. That's what happened.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with faith. It had nothing to do with Cloud9's success. CLG, they made so many mistakes, and they did not play around the Ashe at all. This is something that all of the Korean teams coming out of the LCK, obviously, had played Ashe. And the global engage. From the very first Ashe Arrow cross map, it went downhill very quickly for CLG there. They caught Pobelter out over and over again.
Prey hit the first 3 or 4 Ashe Arrows. It was rather impressive. One, because like landing Ashe Arrows has a lot of different reasons for happening. One is because CLG wasn't playing around it. 2 is because Prey was just firing them in exactly the right situations. The first one that really stands out to me was kind of the beginning of the end for CLG when they were grouped up around the middle turret. And that's almost the only time that the Ashe Arrow was almost guaranteed to land, because they were so committed to that turret and they're worried about flanks coming in from multiple engages. So not everyone is going to move in unison to like split the Ashe Arrow, because that's going to put them closer to the turret.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the America comp with the Azir Eagle in the middle and Tristana with their big guns. And oh, it's so simple. You just group up and you take down these turrets.
Basically a super comp.
CLG were like, oh yeah, Cloud9 did it. We just group up and take all these outer turrets. So they just started grouping up, and then they got an arrow in the back of the head.
Can we talk about the Blitzcrank pick and maybe in another group that happened, the Yasuo pick coming out of Fnatic? I see some similarities there. Some teams who started off really strong and then maybe ended up picking some things that weren't optimal, and you don't really know why?
Yeah, so there's 2 different things going on here, because Blitzcrank was a little bit strange. I think they tunneled a bit and thought it was a support cannon, and then maybe didn't expect the Morgana pick later on. We'll get to the Yasuo pick in a bit. But
yeah, even if it's a support cannon, I don't really see the Blitz pick doing much work. It comes back to it being a really classic Afromu character, but that's really all we can see into it, because it just feels like there are so many superior picks for support.
Yeah, obviously when you don't see it succeed, it's really easy to say that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm guessing what CLG had in mind was, since they're grouping up and sieging turrets anyways, hey, maybe we'll have Blitzcrank hook threat, and if we get 1 pick, that means we'll kill 2 or 3 turrets. But they just never started getting that.
It was the snowball the other way around.
They did steal that 1 Krug at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Worth. 100% worth. But with that, though, CLG lost, and that means with Pain winning as well, that group is absolutely crazy, just like all the other groups now.
South America actually helping out North America there. Pain getting their first victory. And that was huge, you know, taking down the Flash Wolves. So that means that CLG are actually tied with Coup Tigers. And then the rematch between them is going to be very important.
Yeah. So 2 years in a row now, when you beat a Korean team, you then must lose to a Brazilian team in your next game.
Yep.
I think that's a new rule of worlds.
Yep. Well, OG, on the other hand, don't want to talk about Fnatic for a while, so I want to move over to Group D.
Were you sure? Why not?
Yeah, I will in a sec. I just need to talk about this OG win
Sore
first.
subject.
Yeah, we have to talk about Europe doing well first before.
Listen, it was the beginning of the day. It was an important game. I think Allah was writing on who will
right.
have the best pick and ban
Talk
phase.
to me
what
about
will
Fnatic
happen.
Black.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about Origin. Anyway, we knew it was going to be a super close matchup, but in the end, I'm even surprised by the way Origin pulled that off. We had Gorilla actually later saying that he thought Origin might have been the biggest.
Oh, this
threat
play right here.
Oh my
Peekaboo.
God. Get him.
So people
Aside from that play, this was the most well-played game of the day, and that play.
I have
Aside
to say,
from those
though,
two plays.
I have to say, though, specifically that play, people are blaming the missed combo on the recent adjustment to Alistar's kit, where they reduced the speed of the headbutt, but he actually pulverized before headbutting. So that means he pulverized before he was in range to do the headbutt. He would have messed that combo up on any patch notes that Alistar has ever existed on.
I still think Mithy played a really good game, and we got to commend the drafting once again from the side of OG. I mean, Hermit, who's only been in there for a couple of weeks, he's making wonders happen for that team.
Yeah, this was a really awesome day of League of Legends. The first 4 games all kind of came down to some incredibly swingy moments, like one team fight, one headbutt going a different way, one face check going a different way, super intense. Slightly exhausting as a caster.
And the
that
Baron
game
calls
was so
today.
crazy. There were so many. That was exactly an example of one. That was on the monitor over there. That's why
It was.
That was an example of one in that Origin game.
That LGD one.
Completely swung the
that
game.
Made
the
TSM
LGD one that almost swung the game.
Yep.
The Cloud9 one that swung the game twice. The Pain one we saw at the end of the day.
Do you want to talk some more about that?
Jeff's still frothing at the mouth.
Do you want to talk some more about that TSM win? Because in the end, I mean, even though LGD was 0-2,
Yeah.
he didn't know what was going to happen.
No, I mean, they're both 0-2.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. And there was a 10 or 11,000 gold at one point when TSM was up. The second Mordekaiser game we saw, but maybe the first time we saw it in more of a close, contentious game. Mordekaiser didn't really seem to do much except for the final bop onto him.
The bonk heard around the world. Yeah, with Imp standing next to him. I don't think he saw the tiny indicator that charges up on the queue, and you can see the exclamation point.
Yeah.
He's at number 2 right now.
And like he's in Zonia's.
Waiting at the Zonia's,
TF over there.
The thing is, TSM were so far ahead, and that fight was still that close. So people are like, oh yeah, TSM, they crushed LGD. It was still a really close game there. And TSM, they really needed that victory, I think. You know, for the morale of the team. They've been working on the communication issues. Getting a victory goes a long way with trusting your teammates and working on those communication issues. So maybe we'll see further improvement.
That's what Bjorkson also said in the interview after communication issues. If we look at Fnatic's game today and yesterday, I'm actually quite disappointed maybe as following them because they reverted back to the Fnatic that we saw back in the spring split. That was a little bit, they couldn't really count on what they were going to do and when they were going to do it and making the same mistakes. And I feel that that's happened 2 days in a row, not taking anything away from C9's play. Don't worry. What do you guys think?
They're defaulting back on a lot of old tendencies. I think that group is also just super fascinating now because it's 3 teams at 1-2 and 1 team at 3-0. And the way the group stage is completing is a group playing all their games on one day. So I actually don't think any single lead is safe. With how close the games in that group has been, and Cloud9 being 3-0, they could end 3-3. You could have multiple teams.
Do you see IG surging? Because
you could see almost any team surge. So Fnatic
With
in
the way
particular,
worlds have gone so far.
yeah, I'm not going to make any bold prediction.
Yeah, you did mention already the Yasuo pick for Huni, though. That's a really risky pick, especially into Darius. And I think that they just did a really good job working around that and punished them for it.
Yep. And with that, IG getting their first win versus AHQ, that group is also super tight and super crazy. What was the biggest thing?
I'm trying to. The reason I like stopped
Kakao was on
my
Elise.
Yasuo thing is because I was trying to remember exactly what TSM had.
Oh, TSM.
Okay, so TSM had
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell
Mordekaiser
you.
and Twisted Fate. Bjorkson went like 11
And
and
Gragas
Twisted Fate had a really
Yeah.
big day. Kami also just went on Twisted Fate.
TF, yeah. Expeke also in that game. TF definitely a big pick coming into that.
Yeah.
What is the biggest thing that you were, because there's so many things. For me, the biggest thing from this week should have been, I thought that LGD had a good chance of winning the whole thing. Like, that is one of the, that's for me the biggest thing
not
to
over till
take
it's
away.
over.
No, it's not over, but.
LGD looks tilted ridiculously so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Rumors from, I think the French casters were saying that they had huge fights after they were 0-2. That must have carried over a little bit to TSM. I can't imagine how much they're fighting after losing to Team Solomid based on the international reputation of both of these teams heading into the event. So a lot of shame maybe even going on there. But they have now basically an entire week to recover. And the fact that they played half the group and half the group is still yet to be played, since they were supposed to 6-0 anyways, if they just remember that, maybe they can come out of this 3-3 and actually make it out.
Yeah, the thing is, you look at each one of the games, and each one of the different players has made big mistakes in the different games. Everyone was blaming just TBQ at first, but the rest of LGD have all been underperforming at their positions as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the standings. Some teams who haven't made that many mistakes, SKT, OG, C9 as well. No, well, fantastic from them, and everything left to be decided next week.
Yeah, Origin specifically for me has been a huge surprise. They've been performing really well. Peke back at Worlds again.
So good.
And he just continues to impress. Everyone said he's fallen off. Oh, he's one of these old school guys that should retire by now and just own the team. But he definitely deserves
Same
a
goes
spot.
for High.
Exactly.
Group B, I remembered what happened in the IGAHQ game. It was super close.
Yep.
And then there was an early QSS on a Shenton from On, and that basically ended the game.
Early
there were
QSSs
so
and
many
early
moments.
cleanses.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of these.
Early cleanse, early QSS, I feel like ended one of the game. Imp standing too close to a Mordekaiser after Zonia's ended another game. There were multiple single instances that ended games that could have gone either way today. That's what made it so crazy for me.
Group B, all planned. C9 is going to get the #1 seed and then draw SKT, and then, no, is that not? We don't know what's going to happen.
Draw
You're going way too far in the future. Predicting is really difficult with these groups.
Indeed. Well, a lot of craziness. Let's take a look at the schedule. Everything kicks back off next Thursday, October 8th, and it's going to start with Group A. CLG versus Ku immediately. The rematch we get there and everything. What a crazy day to start everything off with.
Get right back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, teams playing 3 games each on a single day really changes the complexion of this group stage. Obviously, there's a lot of preparation goes into this. They've had like months to prepare for just these 3 teams, and they also have to take into account really quickly what happened in their initial matchup, and also what changed between the team's strategy from day to day, because no team is playing the exact same as they did on day 1.
And since all of these teams have both won and lost, all of them have footage to look at to find those strengths and weaknesses that their opponents have already displayed.
The entire group's within a single game of each other. 2-1, 2-1,
Exactly.
1-2, 1-2. Nothing.
And that also means that everything will be resolved each day with the groups. The tiebreakers that are possible will be played on that day itself. So it is, well, going to be a lot of pressure on those teams to make it happen in one day. And that's it for us. We could talk about these crazy groups forever, but I just hope that the next week is going to be just as crazy.
We'll talk about them on Thursday.
We'll talk about them on Thursday, indeed. That's all from us. We're going to catch you all back here on Thursday for more World's absolute craziness.
If there were a time to try turn around, it would have to be this game. These are both 0-2 teams. The win is an absolute must.
So keep chasing through. Eagle's going to run in for support. Wild Total pumps his on, but the damage is just massive here, tearing through the team.
Now let's see Dyrus. He's in trouble. He gets taken down. Godby and him still alive. 2v3. They might clean this up. Oh! Wild Total gets it. And TSM are wiping the floor with LGD.
Oh, just kill Arrow. What is he doing up there? Gone and that Nail's going back in. Gets a good on the Nami. Oh! What a sign is.
They'll set their sights on the next, and Origin are on to the Nexus. Origin will place first in Group D.
Mal's going to dive in. Paradise. Oh my God, he stole it. And Mal's the captain. He might get away. And there's a double kill now.
Is the one that secures the kill. AHQ are in full retreat. They managed to take down Ziv. Albus follows shortly thereafter. Invictus Gaming keep their playoff hopes alive.
C'est l'Ostar. Les Cloud9 implosent tactiquement.
Yo, good shit. Holy shit. You got Penta? Yo, we win. What the hell?
Undefeated in the World Championship. The Cinderella story is still alive.
All that Diamond 2 practice.
There's plenty of damage to kill off one. Walter will try to trade one back. The flash again. Oh my God! Snap! Two Tigers tying Counter Logic Gaming over in Group A. There to go. NL cleanses out, and the front line is in front. Snake gets the kill. well, but he's going to drop. And Pain Gaming take a win over the Flash Wolves.